So I've been studying this flat earth stuff and it's really a lot of fun, and I'm a very, very open-minded guy, so I'm always willing to listen. So far, the round earthers are beating out the flat earthers. The first thing I want to point out is a lot of these flat earthers, they're they're religious fanatics. They're hardcore Christians. They're brainwashed by their religion. All religions brainwash. And, for the record, the Bible also makes a lot of reference to the round earth idea as well. I would never, I don't want to argue that. I will not argue that. It's a book written by people you've never met, describing events you've never seen. Read a different effing book. It's ridiculous. It's brainwashing. Christians are just freaking insane, as are all religious freaks, and I just have a very low tolerance for them. So that put aside, with this religious push behind this, which automatically discredits the whole concept of a flat earth. I mean, do they realize how much it discredits it? We can go into things like, I have two favorite counters to the flat earth, but really quickly I want to mention the halo effect, which I've seen some recent videos from. In my opinion, the halo effect that they're saying proves the flat earth kind of serves to prove the round earth as well. We'll put that aside. And the two favorite counters I've seen, which are not my idea, I'll get to my idea that I haven't seen represented anywhere else towards the end of the video, which I absolutely love and I'm so proud of, toot my own horn. My two faves that I can't take credit for are, number one, using a telescope to see across the water to see Chicago, for instance. Someone else had said, well, if you could do that accurately, you'd also be able to see it at street level. He was making some sort of he was talking about the idea that, yes, you can see it, but it's an atmospheric effect. I can't remember exactly how he described it, but it made a lot of sense, and I liked the explanation. He said, just take a more powerful telescope and go straight to street level if the Earth is flat. I thought he made a great point, and that's never been done to my knowledge. The second one that another YouTuber made reference to that I thought was fantastic was in regards to the sun. If the Earth is flat, then the same sort of concept with the telescope, you should be able to see the, quote, side of the sun, since it doesn't go below the horizon. Since the Earth is flat and not round, you should be able to use a telescope to also see the, quote, side of the sun. I thought that was a great counter too. Explain that, flat earthers. So my idea, this is the fun stuff. I'm so glad I came up with it. I haven't seen it anywhere else, so hopefully I can take a little credit for it. I used to have a laser hobby. So I have seen the counter regarding the laser. Someone said take a string from the Americas to Africa or whatever, and you should be able to go straight across. Well, I said just use a laser. So a laser is going to have some divergence, but that's what made me think of the next test, since they're already using a laser to try to prove at ground level. Let's use it to prove a firmament does or does not exist. Now again, I'm open to the idea that this is possible. I know NASA's loaded with a lot of BS, and I don't trust them. But I'm not convinced at all that the Earth is flat at this point. Here's what we'll use the laser for. I used to have a laser hobby many, many years ago, so I've lost a lot of my knowledge about lasers, unfortunately. So I can't elaborate on this as much as I'd hoped to, but what we can start with is let me see here, where are we? Okay, so the laser ranging system. I want you to look into that and how that's being used to determine the distance from ground level to where the moon is. I thought that was a great starting point. Then we can lunar laser ranging experiment. We can look at that. And then we can look at this other kind of fun article that talks about using lasers to, quote, cloak the planet. lasers that can literally reach solar systems away to hide ourselves from aliens. Forget the concept. We're just talking about the power of lasers here, and that brings us to what I would use it for. So lasers at a close distance, if you just take a pen laser and shine it across the room so that it hits the wall, you'll get a little dot over there. As you shine at further distances, you'll get what's called divergence, where the beam spreads out and is no longer a dot, it widens. There are plenty of lasers in existence, and in fact, I'm pretty convinced lasers available for the regular everyday consumer to purchase that are powerful enough, they'll cost a little bit, but they're powerful enough to reach this dang firmament. That is apparently composed of glass, according to some videos. And what is that glass anyways? Is it Corning glass, or is it Gorilla Glass so it doesn't break? Anyways, I'm being a little silly, but let's use these lasers, point them right up at that firmament, and watch for the effect on the glass. We should see an effect and there's different kinds of lasers we can use, different wavelengths, colors, to prove whether that firmament is there or not with lasers from ground level. This is absolutely doable. So let's do it and prove that the firmament doesn't exist. The Christian part of this really drives me nuts. It's absolute insanity. The firmament, even Christians themselves will argue about how firmament is defined. King James Version and whatnot, how the word firmament has been replaced and used. That's another reason why Christians are insane. There's 1,000 different variations of interpretations of the Bible, and the words used, it's insanity. It's brainwashing. And it is counter to human growth to believe in any of that religious garbage. Am I saying there's no value to religions? No, there's some value, but you don't hold your whole reality out on a religion. Thanks for watching. More videos to come.